Hey, so it's been like a bajillion years since I've done any update on the Orbweaver. Razer doesn't make that device anymore, but for some reason in the last 2 months, I've gotten many requests to mod Orbweavers, and I've done all of my recent work with Joy-Cons on, of course, ToughPad, but also on Tartarus, which Razer still makes. So now I've been adopting, or really adopting, I've been redesigning everything for the Orbweaver from scratch. I've greatly simplified a bunch of stuff. So I just want to kind of showcase that really quick without too much flair. You can see my nasty mouse pad and all my attempts here. Anyways, so this is the factory side module faceplate for the Orbweaver. This is where the D-pad normally comes through. And I just want to show you how I'm getting a Joy-Con in here and getting it in here secure with the least amount of modification and glue and the least amount of screws. Well, actually, like no modification really. I'm not doing any cutting or anything. And really there shouldn't be any glue. Everything's friction fit. So let me show you what I've got. So this is it. Really. So it comes in multiple pieces. So take it apart. So this is a naked Joy-Con stick. This is one of the Hall effect ones. You can see that it's square and then, you know, a shallow rectangle. It's got this little ribbon cable. The hat fits through that opening for the D-pad flawlessly. So the first thing I had to do was design a collar that would slot into this indentation flush on the bottom, but then on the top it kind of brings in the dimensions. So you put a stick in and it, you know, you can move it around and get, looks pretty good. Anyways, so then I had to find a way to secure the stick and keep it from rotating. And so what I've got for that is this. This is the same collar, but I've got this these stoppers on either side. And the idea is that you mount the stick in this harness plate. It's got posts for you to put screws through. But it's got these wings, and what these wings are intended to do is pinch specifically this screw post, so the entire thing can't rotate. So let me just do this. Put this through. This is important how this goes. This because this is offset because this stick head is not perfectly centered on this body. It's perfectly centered if you include the screw posts. So I have to get this right. So this goes on like this, and you can tell that it's right if the stick head is centered in the collar, which that is. That's good. Now I can just put this through this factory faceplate here. Boop. And there you go. So you can see that these wings are kind of pinching here and here. So it can't rotate. This is going nowhere. And this ribbon cable is here, which is where the most room is, because you have to put a tiny little breakout board. Specifically, this breakout board needs to connect here and not flop around or anything, but there's still room for this factory. This is the button that goes here in this space. I can slide this in. See, that still fits. And then this is the factory D-pad PCB that I've already taken the micro switches off of. You have to take those off. But you can also see that this just goes there with no trouble, and as well this does. I am going to have to cut this corner off here to get this to fully fit, but you get the idea. This will fit in just fine. And then there's a bunch of room on top for this ribbon cable to flop out, and I can even glue it down somewhere, and it's not going to move. And so also there's a little bit of clearance here on the bottom, and you can put, I intend to put a dab of hot glue. Come on. Right here, and then push this on real fast. This isn't already going anywhere, but just having a little bit of friction from the bottom of this plate onto here is just going to help it even more. So just already, like this looks pretty good, right? I didn't have to cut anything, and it looks pretty decent. It's not going to rotate at all. Like, this is super solid. Like, I'm putting quite a bit of force, and it's not rotating. It can't move side to side or up and down. This is going nowhere. And then I do have this custom plate here, mostly because I also still do the Cherry MX replacement. You know, this slides here so that we can put a Cherry MX key instead of that thumb lever. That's horrible. But I'm not removing any material. It's pretty cool. And then, you know, this, I haven't cleaned this up at all. Let's see if I can do that really quick. This just fresh off the printer. All right, that should be clean enough. Remove that. All right, so this should just go right there, and you've got full range of motion. I do think that this would benefit from an FPS Freak or Joycon like hat. This is just one that I've got. There are other ones that are taller in different shapes that kind of slide on these. I think this would benefit here, just because this is a little shallow, but or maybe I'll revisit this design and make this a little thinner. I think this is like 2 millimeters thick. I can make this a little shallower still and just increase the dimensions here so this doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, I think this is super clean, and you get the benefits of Hall effect. So, you know, these are magnetic. These will never drift. There are moving parts in here, but there's no moving parts that are rubbing against each other that will degrade over time. These do, and so do the standard controller sticks. So this is I had to design two pieces here, I think. Did I miscount? No, 3 pieces, counting the faceplate. I had to revisit this. But overall, this is like, I think this is just a super solid design here. You know, and I guess if people just really like the Orbweaver and they want to buy a used one off of eBay and mod it, you can do that. I've got these parts. Super cool. Anyways, that's that. Thanks a lot.